Absolutely, those are the visuals coming in from Kathmandu. In the last 36 hours, a lot has happened. There was first up the demand for the rollback on the ban on social media platforms. That was revoked by the government yesterday, but the protest did not stop there. The number two demand was that the Prime Minister should tender his resignation. Now that is done. The other demand by the protesters is that he should flee from the country, he should run away from the country. Now that is something that remains to be seen. And the fourth one is that, in fact, there should be fresh elections in Nepal. What happens next, what will happen after that crucial meeting at 6 o'clock is something that remains to be seen. But look at the visuals coming in from Kathmandu, where the arson, the vandalism continues. Since morning, we've been showing you these visuals of the parliament being set on fire, the president's house being set on fire, ministers being evacuated by the army to a safer location because they're threat to their life as well. And this shows you the gravity of the situation on the ground. But now that the Prime Minister has tendered his resignation, it remains to be seen whether the protesters will also go back, because one of their demand has been met by the government with now the tendering of the resignation there. The second demand is for KP Sharma Oli to leave the country, and the third one is a fresh election. So it remains to be seen whether these protesters will go back or the situation will remain the same in Nepal. But definitely the big update is that the Prime Minister of Nepal has tendered his resignation. He has said in his resignation letter that this is because of the abnormal situation that has unfolded in Nepal in the last 36 hours. It all started yesterday with thousands of people, in fact, are coming to the streets of Kathmandu, protesting, raising slogan regarding the social media ban. But there was a larger plan because after the revocation of the ban on social media, it did not stop. They continued with their protests. And today on the streets, we saw lakhs and lakhs of people, and not just in Kathmandu, but also in other districts as well.
Okay, we have Krishna Adhikari joining us. He's a journalist based in Nepal. कृष्णा जी, क्या कुछ जानकारी सामने आ रही है? जहां तक बात है केपी शर्मा ओली की, रिजाइन कर दिया है, पद से इस्तीफा दे दिया है, लेकिन अब आगे क्या होने वाला है, कुछ जानकारी आप हमारे साथ साझा कर सकते हैं?
देखिए, केपी ओली जो प्रधानमंत्री थे उन्होंने अभी राजीनामे दिए हैं। उसके बाद अब कौन प्रधानमंत्री होगा, क्या होगा, अभी तो कुछ बता नहीं सकते। मगर यही बात है कि और जितने भी नेपाल के बड़े पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है, उनके सभी पार्टी के मिलकर एक हम लोग नेपाल में बोलते हैं कि ऑल पार्टी का एक कुछ कॉन्फ्रेंस होगा, सर्वदलीय मीटिंग जिसको बोलते हैं, ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग होगा। उस मीटिंग से आगे कैसे चलना है, क्या करना है, उसका कोई तय होगा। शाम के 6 बजे के लिए ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाई गई है।
और इस ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में क्या कुछ होने वाला है, क्योंकि हम विजुअल्स में देख रहे हैं कि काफी मिनिस्टर्स को सेफर लोकेशन में लेके ऑलरेडी आर्मी ले गई है। तो इस मीटिंग में कौन पार्ट होगा, क्या कुछ आउटकम निकल सकता है इसके बाद? क्या नया प्राइम मिनिस्टर इलेक्ट हो सकता है या उनका नाम डिसाइड हो सकता है इस क्रूशियल मीटिंग के बाद?
देखिए, सबसे पहले यही जानना होगा कि जो नेपाल में जो मूवमेंट चल रहा है, जो प्रदर्शन डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन हो रहा है, इसके मेन इनके 2 मांग उन लोग का था। एक मांग थे जो सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो नेपाल में अभी बैन्डेज कर रहे थे, उन लोग को जो अवरुद्ध किए थे उनको खुलाना, और नेपाल में जितने भी करप्शन है, जो भ्रष्टाचार ज्यादा से ज्यादा बढ़ रहे थे, वो भ्रष्टाचार को रोकने के लिए जो आंदोलन की मांग थी, यही मांग के जो मांग चल रही है, मांग के बारे में ज्यादा डिबेट होगी। और आगे जो ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग से कोई न्यू प्राइम मिनिस्टर अपॉइंटमेंट के लिए उसमें डिस्कशन होगी। अब क्या होने वाला है अभी तो अभी भी क्लियर पिक्चर अभी तक आ नहीं है।
यस, अभी हम देख रहे हैं जिस तरह से एक तरह से ये जो प्रेशर बन गया उन पर, कल से हम देख रहे हैं इस पर, इसकी काफ़ी कुछ इसके पीछे जो क्या कुछ चलता है, अगर उससे आप हमारे दर्शकों को वाकिफ करा सकते हैं, क्योंकि एक हफ्ते से कुछ चीज़ें ट्रेंड करती है सोशल मीडिया पे, फिर बैन पर कल प्रोटेस्ट होते हैं, फिर बैन जब हटाया जाता है तब भी ये विरोध जारी रहता है, विरोध का विद्रोह बन गया है, और अभी भी हम देख रहे हैं कि पूरा काठमांडू जल रहा है। क्या इसके पीछे किसी का क्या मोटिवेशन है, क्या किसका हाथ हो सकता है, क्या कुछ भी आपके पास जानकारी है इसके मुतालिक?
नहीं सुनिए ना, इसमें यही जो सोशल मीडिया है उनने जो बयान लगा दिया था, वही बयान लगाने के हिसाब से ये आंदोलन इसका स्टार्ट हो गया। और जो भी जेनजी पूछता है, जो न्यू जनरेशन के जितने भी जो आंदोलन में एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेंट है, उन लोग का मांग है कि देखिए पिछले 10-12 साल से नेपाल के जो बड़े पार्टी के 3 लीडर्स थे, केपी ओली जी, प्रचंड जी और देवगा जी, इन्हीं लोग का तो म्यूजिकल चेयर जैसा इन लोगों ने मतलब गवर्नमेंट में इन्हीं का हाली मुहाली चल रहा था, इन्हीं के एक लाइक सिंडिकेट जैसा था। इसके खिलाफ भी डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन है। जो पुराने पार्टी हैं, पॉलिटिकल मेजर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के जो टॉप लीडर है, उनके विरुद्ध में पब्लिक में ज्यादा गुस्सा था। यही गुस्सा की वजह से ये सब ये हो रहा है। मुझे यही लग रहा है कि अब एक अंतरिम सरकार बनने वाले हैं ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग से, और थोड़ा कोई नया शाम तक जो मीटिंग होगी उसके बाद कुछ एक सोल्यूशन निकल सकता है। मेरे ख्याल में जो केपी ओली जी का जो इस्तीफा आया और जिन्होंने रिजोनेशन लिया, इसके बाद थोड़ा नेपाल के जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन है वो थोड़ा काफी सुधार होगी, इम्प्रूव होगी। और पॉलिटिकल जो आंदोलन में थे उन लोग से एक अपील निकल सकता है कि अब हमारा डिमांड पूरा हो गया, आप संयम बनिए, अब शांति कायम कीजिए। यही हिसाब से कुछ अपील आने के
आप कह रहे हैं कि कुछ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज भी इस पूरे आंदोलन का हिस्सा बनी है?
जी 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 जी।
अच्छा, ओके, जस्ट हमारे साथ बने रहिए कृष्णा जी। हमारे पास रोनीश यादव भी जुड़ चुके हैं हमारे साथ। रोनीश यादव एक नेपाल बेस्ड सोशल मीडिया पर्सनालिटी है, नेपाल बेस्ड इन्फ्लुएंसर है। रोनीश जी, आप हमको सुन पा रहे हैं? क्या कुछ हो रहा है कि ये जो कहा जा रहा था कि ये बैन को लेकर एक मुहिम जारी की गई थी, आंदोलन था, ये तो पूरी तरह से अराजकता है, यहाँ पर पूरा काठमांडू जल रहा है। आप क्या कहेंगे इस स्थिति को लेकर?
First of all, I think this is what because it happened yesterday when they started shooting us normal citizens with the gun, which they were not allowed to because they were literally the children whom they shot, and they don't have the legal authority to do that. We were trying to peacefully protest down the street, but this all fire happened because of the last day, whatever happened yesterday. And we were frustrated from this government from so many years, and they were not even trying to resign from their post. And after all, they also banned social media and did so many corruption activities. And even if you see the videos of firing the prime minister houses and so many other minister houses, the money is literally flying all over the houses from the video that we see. So I think whatever they are doing, it's because the years of frustration has built that to do us such thing.
They're fighting for democracy, Mr. Yadav. You feel is it a democratic way of, removing or changing the government?
Of course, this is not the democratic way, but whatever the government was doing was also not such a democratic activity. Killing someone down the street just because they were peacefully protesting was also not such a good idea. And we were also highly influenced from the countries like Indonesia and Bangladesh, who did fought for the democracy, and such thing really influenced us highly in the social media as well. So I think this is the years of frustration that literally built it in us to do this.
See, the first demand was regarding social media. That has been ticked. The second one for the resignation of the Prime Minister, that has also been completed. Do you think now, and would you demand that from the protesters, that they should now calm down, there should not be vandalism and arson now that their demands, 2 of their major demands have been met?
Yeah, I think our major demands has been met, and it is meeting actually, because the Prime Minister has also resigned, and I also heard that so many minister houses were completely burned, and now that they are resigning, our demands are fulfilling. But we also demand for a directly elected Prime Minister. But let's see what's going to happen right now.
Right, Mr. Yadav. Also, we've seen that there has been there's been a lot of social media trends about Nepocade and all that, and then this social media ban happens. It's lifted also, but we see despite that the arson continues. And demolishing public property, destroying public property. Then the private residence, not even the office, private residence of the Prime Minister, who has now stepped down, is also set ablaze. What sort of example is being set here?
I think, again, I would like to repeat that this is just because the protest that happened yesterday, we were really very peacefully trying to protest. If you see the videos, there was an ambulance trying to pass on, and every of our protester, we were literally giving them the way to pass on. While any other protest that you see, it's include violence and all those things. But we students were trying to peacefully protest. But the things that started getting fire when the government started shooting down us in the street, which was really not unfair. And even the organization like United Nations, Human Rights, and UNESCO has just spoke about that. I think whatever happened today was the result of yesterday. And because the government was not ready to step down and they were trying to control us so bad, and from so many years, they have been corrupting us and doing so many sad things in Nepal, which I think they should really deserve that. But now that it has already been done, I think it is settling down, but our demands should be met. And I think directly elected prime minister should also be there something in Nepal.
All right, and we also saw videos, in fact, going viral on social media regarding nepotism of the kids of ministers having a gala time in several other countries, while several protesters claimed that there was unemployment in Nepal. Could you take us through that social media trend? You are an influencer yourself. How it started, what are the allegation of corruption as well?
Oh, yeah. First of all, the trend started in Indonesia and countries like that. And later, the government was set fire in Indonesia as well. And later, this trend also came in Nepal, and we started exposing Nepo kids and all. And there were also some anti-Nepo kids person who were speaking against them, against our voices. But later, the voices became so big that it became uncontrolled, and we started putting dates for the protest. And it was September 8th where the protest finally came down to the street. While peacefully doing the protest, the government started putting fire down, and then they started killing us down the street. And of course, this tension rise because of the yesterday when the government started shooting us down the street. So basically this trend started, the Nepo kids. And then I think there was also social media ban in Nepal. Because of those all things combined, we citizens had that pressure. And of course the Gen Z started this trend on September 8th, while this I think more than 20 people got killed, and this action, whatever happened today, was a result of that.
Right, you stay on with us, Mr. Yadav. We are just getting more and more visuals. You can see that the protesters, the mobsters, actually they're rioting. They have carried out riots, and now they are very much celebrating what has happened. But the fire continues. The fire continues. The blaze on several of the government buildings, and you can see the huge plumes of smoke in the background there. And it seems to be like a victory march of sorts, because this is what has happened, viewers. They are calling it a killer government. They're calling it a killer government. That is what the banners are in fact saying, what's written on that. And we're getting you an aerial view of Kathmandu from the other areas. As you can see, Kathmandu is burning. But Mr. Yadav, since a lot of social media personalities have raised their voice and lent support, does it feel, how does it feel when you see these pictures, when you see Kathmandu being on fire?
Completely satisfied from whatever happened yesterday, because anywhere you see, it is very illegal to kill someone. Where in a country where the gun is not allowed at all for any circumstances, that whenever there is no immediate threat to your life, you can't kill someone like that. And if you see the videos of even police shooting us, they were very far from the police and they were trying to kill someone. Yesterday, if you know that a student who was wearing a college dress and with a college bag on it, he was also killed. So I think whatever happened today, they did that to us first, and we did that after whatever they did to us. So I think it feels good to see that. And after all, they are resigned and things have been settling down. I hope something great happens in the future as well.
But would you agree that there's a better way of addressing the issue? For example, if there was corruption allegation, one can go to the court as well. What is the need of arson, of vandalism? People dying in Nepal. Nepal is on the boil.
We tried doing all the stuff that you just mentioned, talking to the law or doing peaceful protesting, but things didn't work out as that. So this is the plan B that we had. And after all, they started this first, not us.
Right. Viewers, this is the situation. As you can see, there are more and more visuals coming in the way. Stones are being thrown on several of the government-related buildings. You can see there are fresh visuals, in fact, on Republic TV. Even whatever they can get a hold of, they are just throwing it. Whatever object they get a chair, They're getting stones, they're getting bricks, they're getting any table, they're just throwing it. You can see the shattered window panes. Everything is shattered out there when it comes to the government buildings, and they are celebrating, they're whistling, they have hands up in the air, viewers. This is, we've seen the third time that's happened in the recent times in Asia. We was in South Asia, after Sri Lanka, after Bangladesh. Now you have Nepal. The government has fallen in less than 48 hours. KP Oli Sharma, we do not know about his whereabouts. Mr. Yadav, what do you expect next? What do you want next? What are the demands?
Our Gen Z demands are, first of all, is no corruption in the country, which might be very hard to control, but it is our first demand. And the second demand is directly elected Prime Minister. And the third demand, I think it is accountability and transparency. But that's all the major demands that we have for right now. But we also have the major other demands as well, but which I can't remember at this moment.
Right. In fact, viewers, we are getting into, stay on with us, Mr. Yadav. We have visuals of KP Sharma Oli also. We'll just play that out on the screens. He can be seen boarding that chopper. There you have, first on Republic TV, that chopper. You can see Republic TV gets you the first input. KP Oli Sharma is fleeing from Kathmandu, it seems. On that visual, on that helicopter, you can see the military chopper is there. As we were earlier reporting that at least 2 military helicopters were seen around KP Oli Sharma's office, around his residence, and there you have KP Oli Sharma. He is boarding that military chopper. We do not know where he's going. Our sources told us that he'll seek asylum in Dubai. That's not confirmed yet, but what our sources tell us is that he will be seeking asylum in Dubai, but he has now stepped down. KP Oli Sharma has stepped down after what transpired in the past 36, 37 hours, and now we do not know what's going to happen next. Army has taken control of several areas, but the situation remains out of control. Viewers, at least 19 have been killed. That's just the official figure. We do not know how many more. It could be more people who have been killed, lost their lives in this protest. The Nepal parliament has been set ablaze. Presidential palace has been set ablaze. Many of the ministers' houses have been ransacked, vandalized, and they have been set ablaze. Viewers, Nepal is on the boil, and it is, of course, now you can see the government has felt the heat. It has in fact faced the fire quite literally, and now they are forced to flee from Kathmandu. We've seen a similar situation unfolding in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. In South Asia, this is the third country, viewers, Nepal being the third country where you see this sort of a coup, this sort of a toppling of the government that has happened after anarchy unleashed on the streets. Who's fueling this fire, we do not know yet. But yes, there could be there could be something more than meets the eye. And in 36 hours, the Nepal government has fallen, viewers. The situation remains critical. But first, visuals of KP Sharma Oli right now on your screens, right after his resignation, the letter that we accessed and played it out for you. As Nepal burns, KP Oli Sharma flees. Mr. Yadav, his media advisor made a statement that Mr. Sharma will never flee, but it seems he is leaving Kathmandu.
Yeah, our sources have also told that he has been leaving for China, but I'm not sure about that. But he should surrender himself to the public, but I don't know. The resigning is not the solution. We citizens want them not to resign, but also punish them for whatever they did for so many years. Because he has been ruling for more than 8 years now, I guess.
Yep. Absolutely. Those are the visuals coming in. In fact, we showed you visuals of army evacuating ministers as well, all those who have tendered their resignation. Their houses have been set on fire. And these are the visuals of now KP Oli. It remains to be seen whether he flees the country or he also goes to undisclosed army facility, just like the other ministers. All eyes will be on that meeting in the evening as well. Whether or not that will happen, what will be the outcome is something that remains to be seen. But Mr. Yadav, coming to you, what are your major demands now that he has tendered his resignation and now that there's a rollback on social media ban as well?
All right, viewers, these are fresh visuals coming in from KP Sharma Oli's residence as he flees. You can see this situation is only going out of control, viewers. This is, I think, the smoke that is being now unleashed, viewers. This is blaze, viewers. This is serious. This is, you can see they are not leaving even one portion of that residence. Everything is being dismantled by the rioters in Kathmandu. You can see it's all smokes. It's up in flames. Kathmandu is up in flames. The Prime Minister has just stepped down. His residence is up in flames. And this is an absolute breakdown of law and order. We do not know how this will be restored. Who takes over? Who takes charge of Nepal, viewers? This is something that India is watching closely because this is a neighboring country. And of course, there are a lot of people who, in fact, there's an exchange of citizens all the time. People who travel to Nepal from India, Indians traveling to Nepal, Nepalese coming into India. And of course, the ME has also issued a statement as it's monitoring the situation. But you can see this march, viewers. It seems that they're celebrating their victory now after the government is toppled. Nepalese Prime Minister KP Oli Sharma has resigned and he flees in that helicopter. He's leaving Kathmandu, as you can see to the left side of your screens. First pictures on Republic TV, viewers. And you can to the right side of your screens are the fresh visuals. And I think water cannons have also been used on them. But they are unfazed, they are undeterred. Whatever they could break, whatever they could vandalize. Similar scenes were seen in Sri Lanka also. Chairs, tables, they are all thrown away. They are all thrown into the fire. This fire has now spiraled out of control, Akanksha.
Absolutely, and those are the visuals coming in of arson and vandalism. And on the left side of your screen, you can see that is Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, who has now tendered his resignation, fleeing to an undisclosed location. Whether or not he will also go to the army barrack, just like all the other ministers.
We have Khushbu Oli. We have Khushbu Oli, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, one of the opposition parties, the leader, Central Committee member. Khushbu, ma'am, we spoke yesterday. You were talking about the frustration among the people of Nepal. But what is happening is something that is astonishing. Nepal is burning. Kathmandu is burning, ma'am. And KP Oli Sharma has resigned within 36 hours of this rioting that has been unleashed on the streets.
I think the arrogance of our ex-prime minister, the way he handled the situation yesterday with the arrogance, and he was not at all apologetic. And I think that's the reason why the public were so triggered today. And the frustration has come out and it's out of control right now. And he has resigned, but that's not a solution. The demands of this protest is that they have to be held accountable, and just with a resignation, they cannot flee this situation or this country. So I believe, firstly, the parliament needs to be dissolved. My party has already resigned. RSP has already resigned from the parliament. So the foremost thing that the protest demands is dissolving of the parliament.
Right, and Ms. Khushbu, this is something that is really, questionable what's really happening in South Asia. This is the third country in South Asia that, where we see a government falling after these youths are unleashed on the streets. We understand if the citizens of the country are frustrated. We've seen time and again, we've seen, elections in any democracy, in India also, the government has been changed via legal elections. But what is happening? People are killed. At least 19 have been killed. And even after the social media ban that was lifted yesterday, despite that, this arson, vandalism, parliament being burnt, ma'am, is this justifiable? Is this democracy?
This is democracy, actually. No, the social media ban was not lifted yesterday. The prime minister, the former prime minister, he stood his grounds and he said that he is not going to lift the ban. And this is why the people were so frustrated today on the streets. See, the heights of corruptions that happened in Nepal was one of the major reasons that fueled this, because the kind of lifestyle these leaders were having, the kind of lifestyle these leaders were living, the families were living, the unjust in anything. There was nepotism in politics, nepotism in administrations, in every sector, and we were suffering at the public. So, and we have always been advocating against the heights of corruption these people are doing. And the main frustration is that they were always exempted of any kind of court trials. So political leaders were put under trials. They were always given relief from any kind of corruption cases or anything. So this had to happen. This had to happen. It is unfortunate now the public properties are being damaged. So many children lost lives. That's not repairable, and a resignation cannot repair that, and we do not accept that. He needs to be held as a murderer and be accountable, and this needs to go into legal proceedings now, and we need an independent body that will do that we need to form a committee to look into all of this, and definitely need to come in talks with the army, because now I think because the police I think has already said that is beyond control for them, so it's the army that needs to step in, and they are already under meeting. So we believe that first the parliament needs to be dissolved, and then we'll have to talk with the army about how this is going to proceed. And there are protesters, there are people who are behind these protests. So I think everybody needs to come into the talk.
And we saw the similar story pan out in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Now you're saying that you want to pursue this legally, take this matter to the court. There should be a constitutional body. There should be some sort of action. But why not take that before there's arson on the streets? Nepal is a democratic country. Why take it to the streets? Because this has led to the loss of life. More than 20 people have lost their life.
So where would we take, in the courts, they had their people. In the police, they had their people. In the administrations, they had their people. In NGOs, INGOs, in human rights, they had their people. So it was not all possible to take it on a democratic way or take it through that legally. Or, we have done a lot of attempts before, the situation escalated to this situation. And I don't blame anyone, but it is themselves, because if they had, respected the democracy of the people, of the, rights of the people, this situation would not have come. And unfortunate, we lost 19 lives. This should have happened before that. It's really sad that we lost young 19 lives, but now these murderers need to be held accountable. That's our demand.
There were reports of a no party meeting, but now we have visuals of KP Oli Sharma resigning. Fleeing after resigning. And now, what do you think could be the option? Because this is a situation completely out of control, and the ministers of that party, of course, leaders of that party, they're all under threat. We've seen in Bangladesh, there was demand for constitution, free Bangladesh of corruption. But what happened? It's been a year, and there is just one interim government. That's all we see in Bangladesh. Nothing really has happened.
Yeah.
Bangladesh continues to suffer. So is this really the solution?
It's time we become patient and more sensible, take sensible decisions now. We have to stop this, because now that he has resigned, it's a step forward. And if now the government, the parliament needs to be dissolved, and now we have to be more patient, because if the further destructions happen, it is our property. It's taxpayers' property, the public properties. So, and we will need it in the future too. But now at present, nothing is yet clear, because the armies are still in the meeting. The political parties that have resigned from the government, or RPP, RSP, as we were in the opposition. So I think now it's time to sit and think and, come onto the tables and decide something for the welfare of the country, because we do not want this country to go under civil unrest like other countries that you have said. We do not want to civil unrest.
Khushbu ji, we've seen visuals of, people chasing away the ministers, kicking them. Yes. I mean, is this the precedent that should be set? I mean, it has not augured well for Bangladesh either, ma'am. I mean, just trying to understand that what is really the playbook, what's really happening. I mean, what do you expect? Tomorrow any other government will be coming, and there will be issues, and there are issues in every country. But is this the way forward?
We do not see, we are not happy seeing all those things, but ये जो भीड़ होता है ना, इसको संयम नहीं कर सकते. We cannot control at one point of time, it's beyond the control. So nobody is under control of anybody. It's like an independently people are moving ahead. It's unfortunate what's happening, but there's so much frustration and there's so much hatred in the people right now about what happened. I think it has triggered them, and it's unfortunate. We do not want this to be repeated, but the kind of arrogance these leaders held, it was I think it had fueled these people. But it's unfortunate to see what's unfolding, and now we request everybody to be patient and wait for, like, further progression.
So who will request, ma'am? Who will request? Because as you only said, that situation is going completely out of control. And
Yes.
in 36 hours, at the break of dawn,
Yeah.
a protest breaks out. We have seen many protests in India also, but this is a complete breakdown of law and order. In 36 hours, the government is toppled, ma'am. People are dying, and Nepal continues to burn. Kathmandu continues to burn. Despite even
Yes.
the Home Minister has also resigned, and there could have been talks also. There could have been held. But is there anyone representing these people also, or are there powers who actually want this situation to spiral out of control? Because I don't see anybody
No,
curbing,
exactly.
anybody controlling it.
No, nobody is controlling it. Yes, nobody is controlling. Now it's beyond control. At this point of time, it's beyond control. But now all of us who were in support of this protest have requested the public to calm down and to settle and to have to be patient for further, because the former Prime Minister has resigned, and now the best thing would be, I think, the oppositions that have resigned, and there are some people who have been accepted, like the Kathmandu mayor or anybody the public accepts from the younger generation. I think needs to come into negotiations and talks and
But
see
the sheer
further.
suddenness, ma'am, the suddenness of this protest, and this happens after KP Oli Sharma comes back from China. He comes back from China, and we see this sudden flare up. The timing is also under question, ma'am.
I do not know about that. See, I don't want. This is purely done by the public. It was done by youngsters. They just had two demands: end of corruption and lift of the ban of social media. Of the Prime Minister, he was not at all empathetic. He did not apologize on killing 19 children yesterday. We did not see his apology. He rather blamed the protesters and said that it was the infiltrators that were responsible. So this is not what we expect from a Prime Minister. And if you talk about democracy, I think it was the Prime Minister who was most undemocratic at this moment. And it's his sole responsibility. He has to be held accountable along with other people that were responsible from CPN, UML or Congress who are in the government. They have to be held accountable. Otherwise, it's not going to settle down. Because
And now
it's
the
not
Prime Minister,
just-
now that the Prime Minister has resigned, who do you think should be the next face? Who should be the next Prime Minister? Or do you think Army should be given the charge?
No, I cannot say you about that at this point of time. We just want stability now. We just want this to settle down. I'm just a central committee member of RPP, and I went to this protest as an individual because I wanted to support the youth. So I do not have a say on that. There are going to be several meetings that are going to unfold now, and then we'll come to a conclusion what is going to happen. So I'm not the right person to give you the correct answer on this, but definitely seeing the situation right now in Kathmandu, I think Army will take a guardianship to control the movement.
Right. You stay on with us, Ms. Oli. We have some more updates coming in via Nepalese media. The heads of all security agencies in Nepal, as well as the army chief, have called for a peaceful solution through dialogue. Okay, this is the update we have right now. Heads of all security agencies now calling for a dialogue. Army chief calling for a peaceful solution through dialogue. But how will it happen? We do not know. Now that the Prime Minister stepped down and he has now fled from Kathmandu, they're calling for a dialogue. Viewers, quite a similar situation that transpired in Bangladesh. Viewers, this is the breaking news we have right now. Several flights to Delhi to Kathmandu, Kathmandu to Delhi route have also been cancelled today, viewers, in view of the prevailing situation. So Republic TV getting you minute by minute updates as we continue to get you more voices from Nepal, viewers. These are the latest visuals, and all those who are tuning in right now, let us tell you that KP Oli Sharma government has fallen in less than 2 days after what transpired since Since yesterday, Oli's residence set on fire, Parliament set on fire, ministers chased and thrashed, Parliament set ablaze, Presidential Palace set ablaze, all the ministers get out, their properties ransacked, the government buildings have been ransacked, vandalized, and Kathmandu continues to burn, viewers, for 36 hours. KP Oli Sharma was seen boarding a military chopper, as we just showed you. He is fleeing from Kathmandu. Reports suggest that he will be seeking asylum in Dubai, and that is as per our sources, that information. And now the army chief is calling for a dialogue for the peaceful solution. We do not know what happens next, who will lead Nepal next, as there is complete breakdown. It's into a complete political turmoil. It's a political cyclone, in fact, in Nepal. And Miss Khushbu Oli, Nepal has in fact seen political turmoil time and again, not the first time, but this is unprecedented. What has happened, this rioting is unprecedented. Okay, we have lost that connection with Miss Khushbu Oli. We will of course try and get more voices, viewers, to understand the situation on ground zero. The gravity of the situation is completely visible, viewers, with the visuals that we are getting one by one. To the right side of the screens are the ministers. They are flying back in barracks. Okay, we have Ronish Yadav, social media influencer from Nepal, joining us back. Mr. Yadav, appreciate you joining us again. Mr. Yadav, as we have been witnessing, now the army is calling for a peaceful resolution. But what can be expected? Because whenever such things have happened, you know, there hasn't been a lot of stability. You know, example being Bangladesh. There is no, elections haven't happened yet. And there is an interim government. Radicalists have taken over you know, what's happening. The minorities are being targeted in Bangladesh. There is no law and order in Bangladesh till date, despite the toppling of Hasina government. What expectations, what hopes do you have now in Kathmandu?
So, from the measure of all the youths that are saying right now, there is a minister from Kathmandu, that is Balen Sah. So we want him to take the lead for most of us, but for the next situation, no one knows what's going to happen next. But we really hope something that aligns with the constitution and with our major concerns about directly elected prime minister, or let's say for no corruptions, something who can lead it properly, something who can bring transparency. We believe in something, bringing something like that.
Raised on the timing and how in just a few hours, in just less than 2 days, a government is toppled, and you know, the protesters who are in fact rioting out there, they lay siege to Kathmandu. It continues to burn, and it is a threat to the people, the very people these protesters are fighting for, sir.
Yeah, but actually the major threat that was in our country has resigned finally, but the situation that is right now should settle down, because it is too much that is happening right now. So I think someone who is ready to lead and someone who aligns with all our rules and regulations, he should be the next prime minister. But the next situation, no one knows what's going to happen next, but we really hope for something good to happen in future.
Because we will get you more voices, we will continue to talk to Mr. Yadav as well, but you can see the students, these so-called students, they are getting guns. Now, Mr. Yadav, where are these guns coming from? These are youngsters, you say, these are Gen Zs, they are innocent youngsters. And you say they are frustrated with the corruption, but where are they getting weapons from, sir?
I think the weapons are from where they are burning the houses. You know, when the Hasina Sheikh houses was burned, people went to her house and took so many items from that house. I think the similar incident happened in Nepal as well. When the houses were burned, you will literally see all the monies were flying up the house. And I think they went inside the house and took some guns from their houses. Maybe it could be the possible scenario, because buying the gun in the market is completely illegal in Nepal.
Right. If you could just take us through also what, you know, you speak of frustration amongst the youth, but since how long has been this frustration, and on what reasons, or what have been the reasons behind this, if you could just highlight them, and what measures were taken or any actions were taken by political parties, by the leaders, by the people of the country to in fact try and handle this or raise the voices?
So first of all, starting from so many cases, there were so many unresolved cases in Nepal. Starting from Nirmala Panta, whose rape case has been passed for more than 4 years, but no any action has been taken. Second of all, I think few days ago, the China and India had agreement of passing the trade route between a disputed area of Nepal and India, that was Kalapani and Lipulek, where they both agreed without the consent of Nepal. We were really unsatisfied with that part also, from our government, who didn't spoke anything about that. Third of all, they banned the social media. And fourth of all, when the trend started in Indonesia, after the corruption activities, they burned the houses, they started exposing the Nepo kids, it also started the similar trend in Nepal. And from that all of frustration, it started coming down to the street. On September 8th, the protest finally happened. But whatever happened that day was not really so good, because they started shooting us down the street, us the children below 18 years, and which was really not unfair, because we were only speaking about the corruption, not doing any damage to the public property or anything. But whatever happened today was the frustration that built us from so many years, so many past things that was not resolved. Even if you see so many cases that are still not resolved in Nepal, when they are already enjoying their lavish life and they're not taking any action at all. So this was set to happen.
Right, we will just go across to a report filed by my colleague Priyanshi, as I welcome my colleague Iona also on the broadcast. We will be continuing to get you more voices from Ground Zero, but here's a closer look of what's been transpiring on Ground Zero.
प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा है काठमांडू में, पूरे नेपाल में, उसके ऊपर आपका क्या कहना है?
ये प्रोटेस्ट हमारा युवा लोग हैं उसके किया है, और ये करना चाहिए था। ये हुआ कल ज़्यादा लोग को मौका कर दिया बैठने, इसके लिए है। और इसमें सब लोग आज तो सब लोग शामिल हैं, युवा लोग नहीं, माँ बाप अपने जो भी है बाकी करप्शन के खिलाफ भी है, इसलिए प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं। अब चल रहा है कि
तो जब कल शांति से प्रदर्शन चल रहा था, फिर भी उसके बावजूद पुलिस ने गवर्नमेंट के फायरिंग का ऑर्डर दिया, और क्या आपके साथ क्या
नहीं, वो गलत था, बहुत गलत था। तो बहुत शांति तरीके से अपने ढंग से जो प्रोटेक्शन किया करने गया था, तो 105 तो उसके खिलाफ जो सीने में गोली लगाया, तो बहुत दिन के बाद ये करना नहीं चाहिए था। और दो चार लोग ऐसे होते हैं राज्य में, दूर भी कंट्री में होते हैं, वो बहुत दूर होते हैं, उसका कोई एम नहीं होता है, जो उसको कोई दिमाग नहीं चलता है, तो उसे ऐसी हरकत करता है।
तो पुलिस हॉस्पिटल में जा जाकर घर में जा जाकर हमारा
नहीं ऐसे है, जो उसको वो तो सरासर गलत, जो भी तो गलत ही है। मतलब हॉस्पिटल में, स्कूल में, कहीं भी विद्यार्थी लोगों को या ग्रामीण लोगों को जाके मारना पीटना अथवा वहाँ ट्रीटमेंट करना नहीं देना, उसमें बाधा पड़ना,
Continue to get you more updates from ground. Oli's residence viewers, you saw how it was gutted in fire, so was the parliament, and we'll show you that visual, a very, very, it's an image that in fact speaks volumes of that parliament up in flames, plumes of smoke billowing from that building, ministers at the army barrack, and they are being taken away from Kathmandu. Ministers have been chased, thrashed, kicked by the people, by the rioters, by the mobsters. Parliament has been set ablaze. They continue to throw whatever they could catch hold of, from chairs to tables, furniture completely ransacked, and the parliament has been breached and gutted in fire. Viewers, this is after Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. We are witnessing similar scenes, and also the students wielding the weapons, wielding the guns. Viewers, this is what is being shown here, firing on the streets of Nepal. And we continue to get you more updates from Ground Zero as the situation remains critical. At least 19 have been killed and more than 200 have been injured in these protests. Viewers, the government has fallen in around 36 hours. But who is next after KP Oli? We do not know what really happens next. Stability, Mr. Yadav, do you feel that stability is promised now?
I'm not sure, because again, we demanded for anti-corruption and so many activities, and we are trying Pal and Saha to take the lead. But whoever coming next, we never know. And for the transparency and accountability, again, we can't promise anything on that. But we really hope, I have high hopes from our Minister Pal and Saha, who most of us want he to take the lead. But again, I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we do not know yet what really happens next, but we really need to understand, of course, what is really happening, viewers. We'll try and get you more voices from ground zero and understand as to what really has triggered these sudden protests, viewers. Because yes, there could have been frustration brewing, and social media ban was being protested, Mr. Yadav, but toppling the government in such a manner that the capital city burns, and this is something that hasn't really always augured well for democracies. If you really wanted democracy, if you really demand democracy, if you want the rights of the citizens to be protected, and a government, an able government to take over, history will not always tell you that these things, such violence, auguring well or having the right impact, on the people.
Yeah, I think whoever will be the minister will think so many times before becoming a minister himself, because whatever happened today will be a threat to upcoming prime minister or any kind of minister who is going to the high lead, because whatever happened today will definitely provide a threat to them to rule their post in accountable and a transparent way. So I really hope something good happens right now. We were really frustrated from so many years with seeing the same prime minister circling around for the chair.
Right, these are fresh visuals coming in first on Republic TV. You can see that massive blaze that is coming in. I think it is the residence of KP Oli Sharma or the parliament. You can see those bench that is on fire. That is the bench on fire. You can see the tires on fire, vehicles and the furniture inside that has all been ransacked. You can see how they are trying to break through another building. It could be a government building, because that is the prime target of all these mobsters. This is how they are, catching hold of anything and throwing it away and breaking it down. Now, it is about democracy, but we do not know how the reparations will be made. The question, of course, remains as to who's really fueling this. The weapons are being wielded, the rifles are being wielded by these protesters, these mobsters, who on one hand hold the flag of Nepal, at the same time they are wielding guns as well. They call KP Oli Sharma killer government, his government a killer government, but the angry mob is actually now, endangering the very safety of the public property. And this is, of course, all from taxpayers' money, viewers. This has all destroyed, and it's all up in flames. And more visuals coming in from several parts across the length and breadth of Kathmandu, viewers, as the situation is only flaring up, spiraling out of control. The army has taken charge of several of the areas, and what we understand is that the army chief, the security personnel are going to hold a dialogue for a peaceful resolution. How it's going to happen, we do not know yet. What is going to be the process followed as far as the new Prime Minister being named is concerned, we do not know yet. Is it going to be an interim government like Bangladesh? We do not know yet. The army is right now trying to take control of the situation, but clearly everything has gone out of control. Even the borders, the villages along the border, Indo-Nepal border, the districts along Uttar Pradesh that share border with the Nepal are on alert. Viewers, India, of course, keeping a very, very close eye, as there is a complete political turmoil. Nepal's foreign minister and Home Minister stepping down, fleeing from Kathmandu. Prime Minister Oli, who has stepped down, could be taking asylum in Dubai. We do not know yet about his whereabouts. Officially, we cannot confirm, but the report suggests that he will be taking asylum in Dubai. Meanwhile, the mayor has also been supporting the protesters. And now we have, in fact, an update coming in from Balendra Shah, who is the mayor. He, in fact, says that the killer has now stepped down. So this is what the mayor of Kathmandu says. The killer has now fled. All right, we have another visual. First on Republic TV, the military choppers right there on the sky, in the skies of Kathmandu. These are the public officials, the ministers, the cabinet ministers, and KP Oli Sharma also, who is now on board these military choppers and fleeing. And more visuals. You can see the security personnel. More visuals coming in from Kathmandu. He has succumbed under pressure. KP Oli Sharma has succumbed under pressure. and within 36 hours, and he has fled from Kathmandu. After he returned from China, he has fled from Kathmandu, facing heat, facing this situation that he could not control. Now, what really happens next is a big question. What's happening in South Asia? We were third country where we are witnessing such scenes, such toppling of the government. This is, of course, a very, very dangerous pattern that is being observed. And regime change in Nepal, viewers, will try and get you more updates from ground zero. In fact, we also understand that there have been attacks on several ministers, even former Nepal Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba. His wife also has been attacked. In fact, viewers, his wife is the foreign minister of Nepal, Arzu Rana Deuba. They all have been attacked. What we understand, violence being unleashed. Mr. Yadav, if you're still with us, what is the extent till how? Is there no bound? Is there no bound for violence? That now people are being ministers are being physically assaulted. This is a murderous assault. Do you stand with this?
Yeah, I definitely stand with this because, first of all, they murdered us yesterday because the students were just trying to peacefully protest. Imagine a kid who is far away from the village and is only 18 years old, is trying to protest, and he gets sued because he was just speaking about the corruption. They have not even been killed. They just flew away. They ran away from the system, and they call themselves the democratic leaders. First of all, the democracy is not meant like that. If they are not following the democracy and the rules like that, we are not even ready to follow that. We want change, and that's all we did.
This is, it's a very, very dangerous trend that is being set up, Mr. Yadav. Meanwhile, we have some more breaking news coming in from Birganj in Nepal. Houses of political leaders are burnt, set ablaze after Oli's resignation in Birganj. So, Mr. Yadav, Oli has left. He has resigned. Social media ban was lifted. Home Minister resigned. Oli resigns. What else? What else? What are the demands? What else is left? Is it a regime change that these protesters want, or murder of the leaders?
Could you repeat?
No, what is the goal? What is the end goal? Is it about democracy? Is it about removing the corrupt from power? Because now houses of the political leaders continue to be burnt. Even Oli has resigned. He has stepped down and he has fled from Kathmandu. Now, what more are we going to see in Nepal?
So our major demand was to resign them and to punish them publicly, but it seems like we can't punish right now because they already flew away. But the other demand was directly elected prime minister, and within few hours we might see some update on someone becoming a prime minister, maybe, because we really want someone like Balen Saha to take the lead. He is the only one minister in Nepal that we see who did some changes in the Kathmandu valley. If you see, the Kathmandu was very dirty before. It turned out to be so clean and professional in this coming days.
And you think that it will be a democratic government after such rioting that happens, undemocratic ways being assumed by the protesters, by the citizens of Nepal? This is a very dangerous trend, don't you think, for the future of your country, sir?
We never started this. We were doing everything in a democratic way. We fought for our voices. We failed to do so. We stand for our rights. We even fell for that. We had freedom of speech, but government banned all those apps. We didn't have the freedom of speech, and we were trying to peacefully protest. We got shot down the street. We didn't have any democratic rights in the country who is actually a democrat. But if our needs and demands are failed to meet, this is what we do. The years of frustration has finally come out, and people are celebrating it. So I think this is something good for Nepal, but at the end, it is also sad to happen this loss for Nepal. But it's the only thing that our prime minister, the coming prime minister, should be good in our country, and he should rule in a good way. Otherwise, the violence is something that will keep happening in the future.
Okay, so you are in fact standing with the violence, as you say that there should be no violence. What we understand is that this situation is now beyond Kathmandu. Now it is now spreading beyond Kathmandu. It is spreading to several other areas in Nepal, Birganj being one case in point where the houses of the ministers are being now attacked and set ablaze. So Nepal is burning. It's on the boil. It's burning. And violent attacks are being reported from across the length and breadth. Meanwhile, we are getting in updates. Nepal army has issued a statement. I'll just read that out. After the acceptance of the resignation of the Honorable Prime Minister, it is appealed that in the present circumstances there should be no further damage. All the common citizens have been heartily urged to maintain restraint. An appeal has been made to find peace and solution through political dialogue. So Nepal Army's official statement coming in, Mr. Yadav. Now, what would you appeal as an influencer, since you have influence on several of the youngsters? Don't you feel it's time for them to go back home and now there should be a restoration of order in Nepal, or will it continue? Because it seems that nobody is actually even attempting to stop what's happening.
Yeah, I believe so. It should come down. Even the videos that I made yesterday and from so many days, it feels so bad when you talk about a corruption or a thing that you are supposed to do in a country called democracy. And definitely, from whatever happened yesterday, it was not really good. So whatever happened today, it's hard to control, but I hope it settles down, and we get to see our new prime minister very soon in a constitutional way. That's all that I want to see right now. But I hope this calms down, this fire and all this stuff.
Breaking news we have right now. So solution through political dialogue is being sought by the Nepalese army. As I just told you a few seconds ago, Nepalese army's official statement. Solution through political dialogue is being sought. They want that the protesters now should act they should restrain themselves. An appeal being made to find peace through solution, through political dialogue. Now, who is going to represent them? Mr. Yadav, now, how is this political dialogue going to happen? Who are the representatives? Because this is complete anarchy. This is not an organized protest. It is a designed protest that is completely visible. It was organized. It was a planned protest for sure. But who is now going to take this resolution forward, if at all they really want a resolution?
That is what we all are concerned right now, but the major thing that we demanded for them to resign, which they refused the last night. If you hear the things that they told last night after the protest, whatever happened, even though so many children were killed, the prime minister is still denied from resigning his post. And although the social media was banned, they thought that the social media would lift everything, would satisfy us, but that's not the major thing that we demanded for. We demanded for anti-corruption activity, and the demand was not fulfilled. So that's why today, because anything wasn't fulfilled from our side, so we fired just the houses for ministers and all. So finally they resigned, but that's not one of the great things that they can do. They should come down to the street and they should surrender themselves to the public. That's all we really want, but they just flew away and ran.
Mr. Yadav, I want to ask you, a while back you mentioned that all that you demanded was a restoration of democracy in Nepal, and you wanted accountability from the Oli government on corruption practices. But my straight question to you is, these visuals on your screen of a student wielding guns. On one hand, as my colleague was saying, they have the Nepal flag in one hand. On the other, they have a gun. They're showing it, they're wielding it up in open defiance against the law and order. Is this, according to you, sir, the definition of democracy? I mean, you do have the complete right to protest. That is your fundamental right. But then, taking law and order into your hand, ministers being openly thrashed on the streets, houses being burned despite the prime minister stepping down. Is this your definition of democracy?
No, this is not the definition of democracy. But we have been trying to do everything in a constitutional way from so many years. I already told you about the Nirmala Panta who was raped for more than 4 or 5 years. Her case is not resolved yet. We were trying to peacefully protest, but this thing didn't happen. And they sought us down the street. And also, I told you about the India and China agreement about the trade that happened to be on the disputed area of Nepal and India, that is Kalapani and Lipulekh. Our government didn't take any action on that. And after all, our freedom of speech, that was through Facebook, Messenger, and all those apps, all those YouTubes and all the platforms were banned. So it feels like our democratic right was taken away from us. So we were trying to bring down the democracy, but it didn't work in a good way. And they even sought us down the street. So this is what they get to see today. And I think this is something that is good because we wanted change and now we are having it. But slowing down would take time. But this is a very good thing that happened.
Okay, just stay on with us. We have visuals. Okay, we need to see this, viewers, how the ministers are thrashed. Okay, he is very much injured. He's critically injured. He's an old man. He's critically injured. And he has been injured by these protesters, viewers. This is the foreign minister, as I'm told. And he's one of the ministers. And he has been very much critically injured. And these are dramatic visuals and very, very dangerous trend that is being set here. Third country in South Asia when we see this toppling of the government. But this is bloody violence, viewers. This is bloody violence that is unfolding in Kathmandu. Foreign minister is thrashed. He is brutally attacked. And this is the visual that we are running on your screens right now. And this is the reason why so many of these ministers were fleeing in those military choppers, because their lives are endangered. When the more they stay in Kathmandu, the more risks they and their family face. And this is one example. Nepal foreign minister thrashed, and you can see blood also oozing out. He has been thrashed. It's a murderous assault, and this is something that there cannot be no justification for, Mr. Yadav.
That's definitely right, but whatever they did during their ruling period was also not right. And we were trying to peacefully protest, but they didn't hear us. So they get to see whatever happened today.
We are playing more visuals out, but this is Republic TV bringing you in fact, you can understand, viewers, how serious this situation is in Nepal. This is bloody violence. There is arson, buildings being set ablaze, residences, private residents, not even the government office, the private residents have also been set ablaze, and the ministers are assaulted, viewers. This is the big update. This is the visual, viewers, that speaks volume about this so-called protest that was carried out by youngsters. But this is, viewers, dangerous. On one hand, you can see the finance minister is kicked. He's chased away and he's kicked in broad daylight in the middle of the street. And on the right side, you see the foreign minister being thrashed. He is being assaulted. He is injured. He is taken out from that building by people, and he is running for life. All the ministers are fleeing from Kathmandu. KP Oli Sharma steps down, succumbs to the pressure, succumbs to the deadly violence, and he steps down, he surrenders, he succumbs, and he flees Kathmandu. Where, we do not know. Maybe Dubai. Maybe he has sought asylum in Dubai. But this is the state of affairs, viewers. Nepal government has fallen. KP Oli Sharma's government has fallen. And army is now seeking a peaceful resolution as the situation goes completely out of control. Army was called in yesterday, viewers, remember. But the violence, the bloodshed continued. Deaths continued. The death toll continued to rise. We do not know how many have been injured from the protesters' side. Even the security forces have been injured. Stones have been pelted towards them. Firing has also been reported in Kathmandu. And now we see the ministers are chased away. They are attacked. They're brutally assaulted. They're brutally attacked. And it's a murderous attack. And it's an attempt on their life, viewers. We continue to closely track updates coming in from Kathmandu. We'll slip into a very, very short break, but we'll be right back with our blanket coverage on what's happening in Kathmandu as Nepal continues to burn for the past 36 hours.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
I choose a world where we dream, and the limit is the sky. And this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Yesterday, a coward decided to take our 8-year-old son Fletcher away from us. Because of their actions, We will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
ट्रम्प से बात हमेशा रिसीव करता आया सीखता आया कि वे राष्ट्रहित के सर्वोपरि रखकर
Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that they
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
MDH की देगी मिर्च
देगी मिर्च का तड़का अंग अंग फड़का
MDH की देगी मिर्च I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky and this world is my home where I'm living my best
mindfully crafted home decor fabrics Sansar a decor brand live consciously
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है अरे मेरी राजा
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
ट्रम्प से बात हमेशा रिसीव करता आया सीखता आया कि वे राष्ट्रहित के सर्वोपरि रखकर
Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that they
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky and this world is my home where I'm living my best
mindfully crafted home decor fabrics Sansar a decor brand live consciously
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है अरे मेरी राजा मसाला
Today, a coward decided to take your own.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरी राजा
राजा और मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया सब
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया सफेद
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरी राजा
राजा और मसाला।
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
Good evening, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I'm Rakshita Mishra with you. My colleague Oyana also joining us in the Republic studios. We were Republic TV keeping a very, very close eye on what's happening in the neighboring country of Nepal. It's burning, viewers. It's up in flames, and Republic TV getting you all the latest from ground zero.
Absolutely. In fact, Rakshita, the situation is getting critical by the hour. You have ministers being thrashed, young protesters wielding guns, and residences being set on fire.
We'll track all that and a lot more for you from Ground Zero as this is our rolling coverage from Nepal. But first, let's take a quick look at the top headlines this hour. Coup complete in 2 days. Nepal Prime Minister KP Oli steps down. New Prime Minister to be announced soon. Protesters set fire to Prime Minister Oli's house amid calls for resignation. First visuals of Nepal Prime Minister KP Oli surfaces. He's seen flying off in a chopper. Nepalese army issues a statement, seeks solution via political dialogue. Protesters chased and thrashed ministers in Nepal. Ministers take shelter in army barracks. Protesters burn down Parliament, House of President, Prime Minister and other ministers. Nepal descends into complete chaos.
Breaking news coming in right now. Viewers, ministers being attacked in Nepal, and you can see the bloody violence that has unfolded in Nepal. The minister has been beaten up, viewers. This is the update we are getting in right now. After Nepal Prime Minister KP Oli has stepped down, now we see the finance minister. Okay, we corrected that. It's the finance minister that has now been beaten up, and he's bleeding. You can see he's been taken away by those from those around him, his associates, and it's complete breakdown of law and order. This is bloody violence, viewers. The murderous assault on the ministers of those who are in charge of the government in Kathmandu. His wife, you can see, she's also rushing away, and this is a very, very dangerous situation that's unfolding in the neighboring country. Viewers, after 36 hours, we see that the KP Sharma Oli government has fallen. The coup is complete in less than 2 days, and the ministers are being thrashed. They are being kicked in broad daylight in the middle of the road. They are attacked and they are bleeding, viewers. There you have the visual coming in from that from Kathmandu, viewers. That's the breaking update we have as we try and get you more updates. Surendra Puyal is joining us live on the broadcast. Surendra, we see that violence still continues even after Oli's resignation. Now the foreign minister, several of the ministers, their associates, all of them are being attacked, and it's a brutal assault.
Yes, indeed. Very unfortunate and very, anarchy crowd that continues to, rule the streets of Kathmandu even now. Even after security forces, appealed to, joint appeal to maintain calm and stay calm. People are not just listening. The Parliament building is on fire. Even Supreme Court has been, set alight right now and just now. And even most government offices are under attack. And the appeal for calm has fallen, as of now, on deaf ears. We don't know what's in store as the evening approaches.
Surendra, I want to ask you, with what we've seen unfolding in Kathmandu and now several other parts of Nepal over the last 24 to 36 hours, seems like ex-Prime Minister KP Oli had little choice but to step down. But the question now is, how long before we can sense some sort of normalcy returning in Kathmandu? Because essentially the demands of these protesters have been met with. The ban on social media, the order that was passed by the Oli government has been rolled back. He has resigned. The top ministers of the Oli cabinet has stepped down as well. How long before we can expect these riots to stop and for these protesters to head back home?
Evening. Let's wait until the evening when an all-party meeting was expected, but I don't know how things will, go ahead in such a tense situation, and how, good sense will prevail among those meeting and among the protesters. There are no clear leaders of the protesters, but one person on the forefront is Kathmandu Mayor Balen Saha, who actually, extended solidarity for the movement, and now he is demanding that the parliament be dissolved before any negotiation begin. So, all kinds of steps are, being taken, and all kinds of ideas are being floated. Nepal is in a complete state of complete confusion right now. It will take some time before we know what's going to happen next.
Has the army taken full control, or is the army take over next? What can we say right now? Because the army has also made an appeal for peaceful resolution, Surendra.
They haven't done so yet, but that's another possibility. What is interesting is that a controversial leader, was imprisoned by Supreme Court on cooperatives fraud charges. Was in jail. Was in one of the jails in Kathmandu, and he too was released by the police and handed him over to his wife. So this is very dramatic, absolutely dramatic, and half the city looks like half the city is on fire, with major buildings, still smoldering with smoke billowing overhead.
Right, Surendra. Aina, we are getting an update also. Surendra, just stay on with us. We have an update from the Indian Embassy. We have the advisory also being issued by the Ministry of External Affairs. If you could just read that out, Aina. Yeah. Okay, we have some breaking news meanwhile. We'll just get you that update. But we have Indian nationals being stuck. This is the breaking news we have right now. 70 plus passengers from Jackson, Mississippi and surrounding cities, USA. Okay, USA citizens, Indian citizens are currently stuck at the airport. We have visuals of the same. Indian nationals are now stuck given the situation right now. The airports are shut, remember. International airport has also been shut. The Tribhuvan International Airport has also been shut down. And it's under the control of the Nepalese army. And now we see the Indian nationals, they are stuck. And there's complete state of chaos there.
Nepal airport. Hello, we are at the Nepal airport. We are stuck at the airport in Kathmandu because of the crisis going on at the time. We're here at the airport for the last 4 or 5 hours. We're trying to get out of here. We need help. We're seeking help from our U.S. Embassy in Delhi to get us out of here. Please help us. Please. Thank you. Hello, we are at the Nepal airport. We are stuck at the airport in Kathmandu because of the crisis going on at the time. We're here at the airport for the last 4 or 5 hours. We're trying to get out of here. We need help. We're seeking help from our U.S. Embassy in Delhi to get us out of here. Please help us. Please. Thank you. Hello, we are at the Nepal airport. We are stuck at the airport in Kathmandu because...
All right, in fact, we have some breaking news coming in. This is on the advisory issued by the Ministry of External Affairs. But before we go to that advisory, let's bring you these latest visuals that are coming in from Kathmandu.
Right, these are visuals coming in, viewers, from Kathmandu as the government buildings continue to burn, and you can see the police vehicle is also on fire. The Nepalese police van has also been set ablaze by these arsonists, these rioters. Latest visuals coming in from Republic TV. There you have the building. They have gone inside, they've breached it and burnt everything they could from inside to outside. Everything dismantled, kicking it, breaking through, burning it, whatever they could do to spell destruction on the government buildings. Even the Prime Minister's, the former Prime Minister, I would say now the private residence of KP Sharma Oli also was burned down. The Parliament was burned down, and I think this is the Parliament building. First pictures on Republic TV. Politicians are fleeing, viewers, and the city of Kathmandu is in a big chaos. It is more than a chaos. Chaos is an understatement. The law and order has broken down, and is under siege from by the protesters, the rioters, the arsonists, and you can see the expletives that are also scribbled onto the on the walls of the government buildings. This continues, and who is fueling this fire, we do not know, because even after the ban was lifted on the social media apps, we saw several of the ministers resigning, and then thereafter fleeing. KP Oli Sharma also resigning. We see the violence continues on the streets of the Kathmandu, and it spirals out as well to Birpur as well, where the houses of the ministers are being attacked, and the former Prime Minister has also been attacked. His wife, the current Foreign Minister, they've all been attacked. Murderous assault on the former Prime Minister of Nepal. They've all been attacked, brutally attacked. Murderous assault on these ministers. There's an attempt to their life, viewers. You understand, with the Nepalese people, you can see how they are holding these arsonists, holding the flag in their hand and climbing atop these buildings and thumping their chests as to what has happened. They are overjoyed by this destruction, how this anarchy has been unleashed. Who's fueling this fire? That's the matter of curiosity. That's the big question that is looming right now. Oli has left. He has fled. He has succumbed to the pressure that he faced for just 36 hours. We have reactions.
काम चोर है, भ्रष्टाचारी है, और ये देश के लिए ये 2 दिन में सब कुछ कर दिया। ये इस नेता सब ने हमारा 19 वर्ष खा दिया, और अब हम लोग का प्रधानमंत्री होना चाहिए, और अब हम ये पार्टी का नेता नहीं मानते हैं। हमारा जिंदगी से प्रधानमंत्री हमें चाहिए, और राष्ट्रपति हमारा उसी से चाहिए, और जौन मंत्री हमारा जिंदगी भाई लोग हमारा देश निर्माण करेगा। हमारा देश फेरी उठेगा, हमारा सिर फेरी वो माथी उठेगा, और हमारा सिर ये नेपाल का सिर है। संसार का लोग ने देखता है अब ये नेपाली क्या है। नेपाली बहादुर है, नेपाली शक्तिशाली है, नेपाली सब कुछ करना सकता है। ये गुलाम नहीं है और उनका देश में करके काम नहीं करते हैं। यही देश में पसीना बगाता है, खून बगाता है, और जिंदगी के ये सब लोग के हम इस देश के निर्माण में आगे बढ़ता है। ये नेता के अब हम लोग सहभागी भी होने नहीं देंगे। ये लोग का पार्टी भी हम नहीं मानते हैं। हमारा देश का पार्टी जिंदगी पार्टी होता है, और उसमें हमारा भाई बहनी सब काम करता है। और
अब स्टूडेंट को कल मार दिया गया, आप लोग देखिए 21-22, अब नंबर कितना है पता नहीं, 500 से जितना है सब इंजर्ड हुआ है। अब ये स्टूडेंट को ऐसे तरीके से मारेंगे तो कौन सा देश चलेगा? ये सब बहुत क्रूरल देश जैसा हो गया, क्रूरल शासन हो गया है। ये तो ओली का शासन ऐसा नहीं चलता है, कोई देश में ऐसा नहीं चलता है। ये एशिया में ऐसा कम्युनिस्ट शासन आता है, इतना छोटे देश में तो कैसे चलेगा? ये कभी भी ऐसा नहीं चल रहा है। हम लोग का डेमोक्रेसी लाया, इतने आदमी मर के डेमोक्रेसी लाया। ये ऐसा डेमोक्रेसी किसको चाहिए? किसी को डेमोक्रेसी ऐसा नहीं चाहिए। आप लोग देख रहे हैं संसद भवन कितना जल रहा है। यहीं पर नेता लोग अपना भ्रष्टाचारी लुकाते हैं, बैठते हैं। अब क्या हो रहा है देखिए, आज सभी नेता लोग का घमंड तो टूट ही गया है ना, आप लोग भी देख रहे हैं।
जैसे आप लोग देख रहे हैं, आज हमारे नेपाल में संसद भवन ने पूरे जनता ने मिलके, जेनजी ने मिलके आज आग लगा दिया है। कल नेपाल पुलिस ने जितना ज्यादा किया है ना, कल कमती में 19 लोगों को, स्टूडेंट को नेपाल पुलिस ने गोली मारा, चुन के गोली मारा। उसने गोली मारने का एक तरीका होता है ना, गोरे मार के उसे घायल कर देने का, पर वैसा नहीं किया उसने सीधा यहाँ पर मारा है, डायरेक्ट वो मर गया है। और ये सरकार ये जो हुआ है ना, ये इतना कुछ ये सोशल बैंडिंग के लेके नहीं हुआ है। हम लोगों को चाहिए यूथ लीडर चाहिए। अब हम लोग परिवर्तन खोज रहे हैं। ये बूढ़े लोग है ना, ये बूढ़े जब लीडर है ना, वो हम लोग अब वक्त हो गया है, अब नहीं चाहिए, हमारा यूथ चाहिए। अब सब जेनजी का मांग है यूथ।
My name is Akash Yadav and I am from Apex College.
So you are a student?
Yeah, I am a student.
So how is this scenario here in the parliament after the Prime Minister Oli has resigned?
It's too much. You are seeing, I have no words for this. All the people of our countries and youth with the students are coming here for protest, and finally they ran out of country. They are the murderers of our nation. They killed our 14 years children on gunshot in head, and this is very brutal for our Nepal country. And I hope that now coming next PM will be good as well as by seeing this scenario. And I would like to say that please जनता हामी एक भएर यसरी नै जाउँ हैन, जसले जस्तो गर्छ त्यसलाई त्यस्तै देखाउँ, लखेट्नु पर्छ, नभए हाम्रो खुन चुसेर हामीलाई नै मार्छन्.
So the Prime Minister also has resigned.
Yeah, he should. He have to.
Voices coming in from ground zero, the protesters calling out the government and in fact they are just justifying the violence. It seems we have more updates coming in. The choppers are being used to flee, to help the politicians escape, but the airports are shut down, and even the Indian origin Americans are suffering right now. They're stranded at the airport, and we are going back to my colleague Surendra, who continues to report from Kathmandu. Surendra, can you just show us around if you are on ground? If you could just show us what's happening on ground zero in Kathmandu as we speak.
I can see smoke, billowing in North Kathmandu, near where Deoba residence is located. That side is filled with smoke.
If you could just pan the camera, Surendra. If you could just show us what are you seeing?
Kathmandu is, filled with smoke right now. If you can see that side, there's a lot of smoke. That's where Deoba's residence is located, north side of Kathmandu, and a helicopter just flew over. It's going north. Even the crowd was, the protesters were so angry that they even tried to assault former Prime Minister Serbhati Deoba and his wife, Foreign Minister Arju Deoba, were attacked. Not a very nice thing to see. He was covered with blood. Deoba's body, face and everything, and he was attacked, and it's not a nice sight. He's a senior citizen after all. And then there are smoke, the smoke-filled neighborhoods all around me. This side also, there's some smoke. That's where the Prime Minister's residence, official residence is located, and commercial complexes are located. So that side is also filled with smoke. Behind these trees is Parliament somewhere, and that side sky is also there, also filled with smoke. So nobody knows. It's complete confusion as of now. Nobody knows what's going to happen, who is going to be the new leader of this country. It's completely leaderless. And Kathmandu mayor, who supported these protesters, has come forward.
Surendra, just stay on with us. We have visuals coming in now of politicians fleeing in military choppers as the airports remain shut for civilians. We see that the choppers are active in Kathmandu's airspace and at the Kathmandu airport. Helicopter activities being reported from the Kathmandu airport as the politicians, the ministers, that are all escaping from Kathmandu as these rioters take siege of Kathmandu. We have the latest visuals coming in from the airport. You can see these military choppers being parked there, and we just saw one of the visuals we showed you a while back where KP Oli Sharma was also boarding one of the military choppers. He fled from Kathmandu, and several of the other ministers following suit. They continue to flee from the airport via these choppers, while there are, of course, Indians and many other travelers who remain stranded. The airport activities for the civilians is shut. We see that Indian government has also issued an advisory, any travel to Nepal, asking Indian nationals to remain indoors, and emergency phone numbers have also been issued for Indian viewers, the Indian citizens in Nepal. Parliament was set ablaze today. We saw many other government buildings set ablaze. Nepal continues to burn. The government has fallen within 36 hours, and now we see these politicians who have now succumbed to these rioters, the arsonists. They are now fleeing from Kathmandu with the military choppers, and there is, of course, a grave threat to their life. We've seen one of the former prime ministers being attacked brutally. He was bleeding, and he was taken away. He was being rescued rescued by his associates. And we'll try and get you more updates. I think there are some more reactions coming in. Okay, Surendra is back with us. Surendra, the airport is now only active for these politicians, it seems, and they are now fleeing using the military choppers. What's really happening? What are you picking up in the latest update?
Actually, they have not fled the country. The airport remains shut for now. But then the helicopters are, transporting them to safer areas, and these are army helicopters. So they are being transported to safer areas, depending on which area is safe. So only they know where they are, but they haven't fled the country. They are somewhere in Kathmandu. They are meeting, and I can see very thick smoke, billowing in the Prime Minister's residence area. I can't confirm whether that's the same building or something else. There's a lot of smoke that side.
Yes, just show that. Just show that to us. Yes, okay, that's the smoke. We see Kathmandu continues to burn. Surendra is just telling us. Yes, Surendra, please carry on.
So there's a lot of confusion as to what happens next. So next 24 hours are going to be crucial, and any decision Nepal will make will be made within that period, I imagine. But again, the big question remains: will that guarantee peace, stability, and economic progress and good governance in Nepal? The big questions remain, however.
Yeah, that's a big question because we saw similar, playbook in Bangladesh, Surendra, and it hasn't really bring in any benefit to the people of Bangladesh. We have some more breaking news. Meanwhile, viewers, we have update coming in from India. The Ministry of External Affairs issuing a fresh travel advisory for Nepal, saying do not travel unless absolutely necessary. Do not travel to Nepal unless absolutely necessary. Do not go out of your homes. This is the advisory from New Delhi for the Indians in Nepal, and for those who are planning to go to Nepal, they have been cautioned against traveling to Nepal.
Yes, Rakshita, this is a fresh advisory that has been issued by the Ministry of External Affairs. India, in fact, earlier had also issued a statement this morning saying that they are monitoring the situation very, very closely. This, as we also understand that several Indians are also stuck in Nepal. They've appealed to the government of India to repatriate them, to take them out of the situation. As the chaos, the scenes that have been unfolding in Nepal gets critical by the hour. India, of course, monitoring the situation very closely, while we have absolutely no clarity as to whether the formation of a new government hours after KP Sharma Oli steps down essentially guarantees the restoration of peace. Surendra, our colleague, continues to be with us live from Kathmandu. Surendra, give us a little bit more context about where exactly you are. Tell us how far away are you from the parliament. Earlier we saw those very dramatic visuals of the parliament premises being set on fire, security being breached. How is the police deployment like? And do you at any point sense, any sort of, any sense of restoration of normalcy? Do you see it happening in the near future?
Not as of now. Actually, even now you can see a helicopter flying north from south. So helicopters are doing sorties, and they are busy transporting officers, I imagine. And then there are violence.
Right, so that is a military chopper live by Surendra. Yes, Surendra.
There were protests, and the police opened fire at a few places. And at least 2 people were killed today in Kalimati this afternoon, and another 2 somewhere else in the city. So there are new casualties even today. So it goes on top of 19 that was recorded yesterday. So it's still violent. They have appealed for calm. And the police and the security forces, they have appealed for calm, and hopefully the protesters will calm down after the dusk fall, which will happen in a couple of hours.
Surendra, Army has appealed for peace and a peaceful resolution through dialogue. Now, how will this dialogue, if at all it takes place, what could be the way forward?
It doesn't have any clear leader. One person who has come to the fore is Kathmandu Mayor Balen Saha. If he is saying, okay, I'm going to represent the Genji and talk on their behalf, he might be welcomed.
Okay.
So nothing is clear. It's absolutely, Nepal is in transition and very uncertain, uncharted territory right now.
Absolutely. In fact, Nepal has seen multiple times, it has gone through political turmoils, but this is something that is unprecedented, isn't it, Surendra? What we learn is that there are other areas that are also being affected beyond Kathmandu also. What are you picking up, Surendra? Like Birganj areas, we are learning that ministers' houses have been burnt there as well.
Yeah, ministers' houses, even province ministers' houses were burned down. The chief minister of Madhya province bordering Bihar in South Nepal also, tendered his resignation. So there is a nationwide protest and they want complete overhaul. The protesters are saying they want complete overhaul of the system and they don't want any older generation leaders, anything older. They want to create something new. But I don't know how they're going to do it.
And if you mentioned about the border, also I want to understand from you: is the land route still operational, or has that also been shut? Nepal border is, of course, anyway very very porous as far as India-Nepal border is concerned.
It's very tense all over the country, including Nepal-India border. So they are exercising caution. That's for sure. Every district across near Nepal-India border to South Nepal is disturbed. So urban areas are more disturbed, like big cities like Kathmandu, Pokhara. So there's a lot of violence, and it's absolutely unprecedented.
Right. Thank you so much, Surendra. We'll come back to you after this very, very short break. Viewers, we continue to give you all the latest updates from Ground Zero from Kathmandu as Nepal continues to burn. Viewers, the situation is spiraling out of control. We'll simply a short break, but we'll be right back with more details and minute-by-minute developments from Nepal.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जीरा सिप MDH का जीरा सिप
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया सफेद चने या काले चने
सब कुछ मजेदार बने
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है अरे मेरे राजा
Here we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%, I think.
Very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching live and Making and Republic TV continues to report live from Kathmandu. We get you each and every update as Kathmandu is burning. The situation is completely out of control, viewers. The Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has succumbed to the pressure, succumbed to the rioters, and he has fled Kathmandu after tendering his resignation. And reports suggest that his resignation has been accepted. We will confirm that in just a bit, viewers, but we will get you more updates as we keep a close eye.
And this is our rolling coverage, ladies and gentlemen. Republic is the only channel that is bringing you the frame-by-frame, minute-to-minute update on everything that's unfolding in the capital city of Nepal. And before we get you all the latest developments that we're tracking, let's take a quick check of the headlines. Coup complete in 2 days. Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli steps down. New Prime Minister to be announced soon. Protesters set fire to ex-Prime Minister Oli's house amid calls for resignation. First visuals of former Nepali Prime Minister KP Oli surfaces. He's seen flying off in a chopper. Nepalese army issues a statement, seeks solution via political dialogue. Protesters chase and thrash ministers in Nepal. Ministers take shelter in army barracks. Protesters burn down parliament, house of the president, ex-prime minister and other ministers. Nepal descends into complete chaos.
All right, we have some fresh visuals coming in right now, viewers. This is again another aerial view via drone of the Nepal Parliament burning, viewers. This is an image that helps you understand what has happened. The very seat of democracy, the temple of democracy in any democratic nation is burned down. That's the Nepalese parliament in Kathmandu that has been set ablaze, and an aerial view of that on your screens right now. It's a drone shot of the Nepalese parliament burning down, and it continues to burn. It's up in flames and huge plumes of smoke billowing from that parliament building. And similarly, there are other buildings of significance of government use that have been also set ablaze by the rioters across Kathmandu, from the presidential palace to KP Sharma Oli's residence to several other residences of the ministers who are the part of the cabinet. They've all been set ablaze, and from roads to the government buildings, vandalism, arson, rioting, all that, even firing, everything has been witnessed, viewers. They have been wielding guns, flag in one hand and the other holding the guns, rifle being wielded by these protesters. And now you have this visual of smoke that continues to billow from that Nepalese parliament that was set ablaze today. Yesterday they tried to breach, they tried to enter and vandalize. Today they have been successful in setting it ablaze as KP Oli Sharma succumbed and he tendered his resignation and fled from Kathmandu. We do not know where has he gone. His advisor says that he will never leave Nepal, but he will resign. So he did. But what our sources are telling us that he might flee to Dubai. Of course, it's an undisclosed location where the ministers are fleeing. The airport remains unoperational. It is not functioning for a civilian movement, but the politicians are fleeing. The military choppers have been parked at the airport, and they are fleeing and they are running for their life. And we have seen how the former Prime Minister as well has not been spared either. He has been brutally attacked. His attack on his life, as you can see, and this is another visual. You can see him bleeding, viewers, as we just showed you how he had suffered injuries after the mob attacked his house and attacked him and his family. There you have, he was bleeding. He's under military security. The army is securing him right now. But another visual. There were two visuals that earlier we showed you a visual of him being rescued and taken away. And now you can see the moment after he was attacked, he's sitting there on the ground, on the grass, and he was attacked. He's bleeding. It's a brutal assault. It's an assault. It's an attack on their life, on the former Prime Minister. of Nepal, his wife being the current foreign minister of Nepal. This is pure anarchy, and it's bloody violence. It's nothing but bloody violence. The mobsters, the rioters who call themselves protesters, they have opened a war front against, against the government, against the ministers, against those in power, and they justify the violence, they justify those who have been hurt. The woman, the foreign minister, who's the wife of this gentleman you see, he's the former prime minister, she also has been hurt. Her husband, the former prime minister, is attacked. Of course, viewers, there is frustration. There were many issues plaguing the government, but this is pure anarchy that has taken to the streets, and Kathmandu has been taken over.
जिउँदो लास भएर त्यहाँ भतभती खोलेर बसिरहेछ घर जलिरहेछ अब बापको धुरीबाट कराउँछ नि अनुहार न अनुहार छ होला कस्तो चालीको यो त्यसरी मारे त बच्चाहरूलाई बच्चा मार्ने विद्यार्थी मार्ने
All right, that is the commotion on ground, the chaos that broke out after the minister was brutally attacked. We do not know how he was attacked, but yes, those rioters who are calling it a protest and frustration, we'll show you those two images, viewers. You understand the blood and gore that is unfolding in Kathmandu, viewers, in the name of restoring democracy. What's happened is that they have toppled the government. It's a coup, and it's bloody violence that is unfolding. There you see, to the left side, he's sitting on the ground, he's injured. To the right, he's taken out by his associates. He's under, all these ministers are being protected by the army men, the army personnel. And this is absolute breakdown of law and order. This is a murderous assault, viewers. His wife is the current foreign minister. She has also been attacked. She's also injured. So the former prime minister, Sher Bahadur Deuba, and his wife, who is the foreign minister, she's also attacked, she's also injured, but he's brutally attacked. You can see he has sustained grievous injuries. We do not know yet if he has managed to flee from Kathmandu or not, but that's what every minister has done, because they are running for life now. They cannot stay in Kathmandu. The cabinet ministers are saying that it's impossible now to stand with the government, that there's no option for them but to run for their lives, but to flee from Kathmandu. And this government has fallen in 36 hours, viewers. This is what they called a Gen Z protest. But viewers, this is violence, this is anarchy, this is bloodshed, this is blood and gore. And we have seen firing also. We have seen weapons being wielded by the so-called youngsters as we see the situation worsening. It's a complete breakdown of law and order, and the law and order has been shattered. It's in shambles, and Nepal is burning. Kathmandu is burning, and several other areas also remain tense. Birganj remains tense. Many of the houses in Birganj of those ministers have been set ablaze. The parliament has been set ablaze. The presidential palace has been set ablaze. And we continue to show you those visuals that in fact help you understand the gravity of the situation, what's happening in our neighboring country, viewers. And more breaking news are coming in. More breaking news is coming in. And this is the parliament. This is a visual from the parliament where you see the protesters are wielding a gun. They are firing. They have guns in their hands. Are these Gen Zs? Are these youngsters? What is happening, viewers, in Nepal? You can understand they are wearing helmets for their protection, but they are attacking the parliament. They want democracy. They want transparency. They want nepotism to go away. They want fair rule. They want fair governance, but they are attacking the very seat of democracy, that is the parliament in Kathmandu, and they are firing. They are firing at the parliament building, and this is happening even after KP Oli Sharma resigns and flees from Kathmandu. This is absolute breakdown of law and order. This is anarchy on the streets of Nepal, and the parliament has been attacked by the protesters using these rifles, using these guns. They have now wielded these guns, and they are taking aim at the parliament building that was already in flames. They are leaving no stone unturned. They are leaving no government building, not just the parliament, but also the residence of the former prime minister, also the presidential palace, also the residences and the offices of those in power. they have come under attack and they have all been set ablaze. So Nepal is on the boil, it is burning right now as we speak, and ministers are facing, they are now fleeing. And viewers, this is a video that shows, that speaks volume about this so-called revolution. It was being touted as a revolution, a movement of change, but they are wielding guns. They are resorting to violence. For the past 36 hours, Kathmandu has witnessed unprecedented violence. And this is the truth, viewers. This is unmasked. They are wearing these helmets, but they are now being unmasked. You can see what they are doing. And viewers will try and get you a sense of ground as we play that out full video. We have a strategic affairs expert and defense expert, Major General D.D. Bakshi, joining us. Very good afternoon to you. It's not at all a good afternoon in Nepal, it seems, because what had been touted as a revolution, sir, has been now captured by the anarchists. This is the third country in South Asia where we see a coup, toppling of a government via violence. The playbook is the same, that of Bangladesh, sir. These protesters are now wielding guns. Nepal is burning.
The playbook is there, but who gave their opening to these people, right? I have been warning for years now that KP Oli is extremely unpopular in Nepal. He is a kleptomaniac. He is a chore with a capital C. He has created a most corrupt dispensation, nepotism, corruption, lack of employment, economy going down, and he is sucking up to China and trying to raise problems against India. And yet I am so surprised that there are people, elements of the bureaucracy in India, diplomatic, intelligence, who were convinced that KP Oli is the go-to man. He's so strong that, when there was an agitation in support of the former king, an agitation for change, Raja Lao, Desh Batao, they said, no, that's nonsense. KP Oli is the guy, he is loved by the people of Nepal. Then we've seen how much he's loved. He's out.
Right. General Bakshi, yes. General Bakshi, KP Oli was not really ever a friend of India, but we've seen that, sir. And he has been very much in proximity with Beijing. Now, from here onwards, sir, how do you feel this panning out? Because India is keeping a close eye, and with this being going into a complete state of breakdown, political turmoil, we've seen what happened in Bangladesh, sir. It's still not stable. But what do you understand? How do you read into this situation? What could now happen next?
The way out could be like it had happened earlier when we had the king overthrown. Because the king did not allow Sonia Gandhi to enter the Pashupatinath temple. The priest did not allow. We had that government of the king overthrown. We scored the biggest self-goal by getting in these Maoist communists. So what is the way forward? The way forward is that either the Chief Justice or in this case even the courts are under a cloud now, or somebody who is non-partisan, non-political, who takes charge as a caretaker Prime Minister, and a new constitution is drafted, new constitution is written. I'm afraid the one that we tried to enforce has not worked. You see, democracy has to have an opposition. If the opposition gets in bed with the ruling party, well then, where do the people go to for their grievances? The media doesn't listen to them. They had a social media that was banned. On the social media, they were carrying out e-commerce. They were, the bulk of the Nepal youth wants to get out of Nepal and get jobs in Dubai, etc. How do they talk to their people at home? On the WhatsApp, which is free on Facebook, on Messenger, which is free. Now they have to pay international roaming call rates. They are poor people, I would say. I mean, they don't have...
Yeah. You just stay on with us, sir. Just for a few seconds. I'm just getting a breaking news. The protesters have set fire to the UML party office at Birta Mode in Jhapa. So this is the ruling party. Of course, that government has fallen now. The party office has been set on fire. Fresh visuals coming in on your screens, viewers. So this complete state of anarchy, and you can see this is inside visuals. Okay, I think this is the UML office. Yes, this is the party led by This is KP Sharma's party. And that has been inside. These are the visuals coming in from inside, and that's the breaking news coming in. We will try and get you more updates coming in on that story. Parliament has been gutted, and now these are visuals from inside the office of the UML, the Communist Party. These are inside visuals. You can see the photographs of the leaders are being thrown away. They are being broken down, and this is you can see the violence is completely taken over. Violence has completely taken over Nepal, and inside visuals coming in from Birta Mode in Jhapa. This is the update we are getting in right now from Nepal. We was from the parliament to the state buildings to other district offices to even KP Oli Sharma's party. This is all been broken down. These are visuals coming in from one of the government buildings. We will just tell you more about this, but this is the update we are getting in right now from Kathmandu, viewers. This is happening as we speak, and more dramatic visuals, dangerous visuals, viewers. This is dangerous. This is a trend that is dangerous in South Asia that we are witnessing right now. The regime change has been now completed, but we do not know what's next in store for Nepal. Coup is completed in 2 days, and this is another building that is burning. I think this is the UML building that is burning right now in Jhapa. Yes, this is the UML building that is being set on fire in Jhapa, one of the areas in Nepal, and it has been now set on fire by the arsonists, and that's the breaking news we are getting in. That we are getting right now. It is in Birta Mode. Meanwhile, you see another visual from the parliament, I think, or the presidential palace, where this the party flag is being taken down. This is another visual that has gone viral on social media, viewers. This flag is being taken down, and we continue to show more updates as the army also is not really able to take control of the situation. The former prime minister is being attacked so grievously that he is bleeding. His wife, the foreign minister, is also injured. She's a woman minister. She is also not spared in this by the mob. The woman is also not spared. She is also injured, and this is now going completely out of hand. You can see protesters are dancing, they're making reels, and we'll try and get you more updates. The former prime minister is not even spared, as I was saying earlier, by the mobs, and they are all being attacked, and how, viewers, they are it's an attempt on their life. If you see how he's bleeding, the former prime minister Sher Bahadur Deuba, and his wife, who's the current foreign minister, she's being attacked, and the army personnel are surrounding him for his security, and he is being rescued as well, but he has been grievously injured, critically injured by these mobsters. Is this the democracy that they are fighting for? Is this the revolution that they wanted to, in fact, take up? That they attack the ministers and, in fact, also take an attempt on their life, on a woman minister, and mob attacking the former prime minister, the former ministers, the current minister. They are all running for lives. They are all running for their lives, and they have most of them have fled Kathmandu. Is what we have learned, viewers, and it's the biggest attack on democracy in the democratic building, the very seat of democracy. The parliament building has also been up in flames. It's still burning as we speak, from inside and outside. It's being vandalized, ransacked, and it is attacked using the rifles also, not to forget. Weapons are being wielded in broad daylight. Weapons are being wielded and being used. The wife of former Prime Minister has been set on fire. All right, that's the breaking news we have right now. The situation is completely spiraling out of control. The wife of former Prime Minister. It's an attempt on her life. She was set on fire. As per Nepalese media, That's what we are learning, viewers. The wife of former Prime Minister Jhalanath Khanal, another former Prime Minister, he has been attacked and his wife set on fire. She was set on fire, as we are learning via Nepalese media. We are quoting, we are citing Nepalese media as we tell you what has happened with one of the wives of the former Prime Minister of Nepal. And this is another video of the firing. You can see these weapons, and not one, but more of them. You can see they are wielding weapons, not one, but two, but more of them. At least three I can see in this very video from this vantage point. This man who is now taking aim at the parliament building that continues to be up in flames. The smoke is billowing from this parliament building in Kathmandu, and they are now firing at the parliament. They call the Oli Sarkar, the Oli government, a killer government, but they are now attacking the ministers. They are brutally assaulting them. And as per Nepalese media, one of the former prime ministers, his wife has been set on fire. Viewers, this is absolute breakdown of law and order. And Supreme Court has been set on fire. Media channels have been set on fire. Media houses have been set on fire. The Supreme Court, not just the temple of democracy, but also the justice system. You can see what's happening on the streets of Parliament. I think these are, scenes that are worse that we've seen in the longest time. In Bangladesh also, we've seen a similar trend. We saw what happened, but this is, viewers, completely out of hand. This is not even in the hands of army, it seems, because they are busy helping the ministers escape from Kathmandu. The Supreme Court is now set on fire by the mobsters. The Supreme Court is set on fire, Media House set on fire, Parliament set on fire, Presidential Palace set on fire. The flag has been removed, and now they demanded the resignation of KP Sharma Oli. But despite that, we see that arson and violence and attack on ministers continue. They are running for their lives. They're fleeing from fleeing via the military choppers, and they are running away. They're running for their lives. Supreme Court set on fire. In the latest, viewers, many other areas, not just Kathmandu. This is, in fact, moving ahead. This is expanding to other areas, the border areas. India shares a border, remember, with Nepal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. They all share a border with the Nepal. They are all tense. Those areas are under alert. This is the visual, viewers, Republic TV getting you first visuals from Kathmandu. This is the Supreme Court in Kathmandu. The top court, the apex court of Nepal, has been set on fire by the people, by the mobsters. Nepal's Supreme Court is up in flames. It's going up in flames. It is all burnt out. It's a charred building. From the parliament to the Supreme Court, it's all burnt down. It's all burnt down by the mobsters. Complete chaos, and it's only ruckus and arson and even murderous attempts being made by these mobsters on the lives of the ministers and the former ministers. Viewers, this is the update we have right now. This is a very, very dangerous trend that is being witnessed. The third such country in recent times, viewers, in South Asia, where we see a government is toppled after violence takes over. After violence, arson, rioting is unleashed on the streets. And this is happening now as we speak in Kathmandu. Supreme Court is set on fire, viewers. This is a building that is of importance, utmost importance in any democracy. Be it the Parliament and be it the Supreme Court, the media houses, they've all been attacked. They've all been burned down, charred buildings. These are charred buildings now. This was once the Supreme Court of Nepal. You can see the vehicles also parked outside these buildings. The Supreme Court up in flames. And this is something that is very, very dangerous. We do not know the death toll now because it is rising. It is rising. The mobsters have taken to the streets and they have burned down, they have attacked whatever they could see, whatever they could use. They have burned out the Supreme Court, the Parliament, the media houses. More and more visuals coming in on Republic TV. Republic TV is showing you non-stop visuals, non-stop coverage from Kathmandu and beyond, viewers. Exclusive footage on Republic TV. This is the Sarvocha Nyayalaya, that is the Supreme Court, that is up in flames and plumes of smoke billowing. They have not spared even the women ministers, even the wife of former Prime Minister, even the current foreign minister who is a woman, and her husband who was the former Prime Minister. He has been brutally assaulted. Attempt on life has been carried out by these mobsters who were demanding so-called democracy now. They were demanding transparency, but they have taken to the streets and burned Kathmandu down. More and more visuals. Wife of former Prime Minister, Mr. Jakal. She is joining us on the broadcast, I think. Okay, she has been set on fire, I'm told. Okay, she has been charred. You can see she has been burnt alive, viewers. Footage coming in. This is dangerous, viewers. She's lying unconscious. We do not know about the status. We do not know about her state, but she is the wife of a former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jhalanath Khanal. You can see her burnt body, viewers. This is dangerous, and this is a murderous attempt. She has been set on fire. She has been burnt alive, viewers. This is a visual that you can understand what's happening in Nepal, what's happening in Kathmandu. These so-called protesters these are murderers, viewers. These are murderers, arsonists, rioters, mobsters, and they have also attempted to murder the wife of a former Prime Minister. She lies unconscious. She has been burnt alive. This is the wife of former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jhalanath Khanal. She has been set on fire. She has been burnt alive. And viewers, we will continue to get you more updates. All the updates, viewers, from Kathmandu, Republic TV showing you non-stop visuals as Kathmandu continues to burn. Wife of a former Prime Minister is set on fire alive, viewers. Murders, not just vandalism, not just rioting, not arson, but this is murder in broad daylight that has happened on the streets of Kathmandu, viewers. We continue to show you more, get you more updates as Republic is reporting live and minute-by-minute development from Kathmandu, from Nepal. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिर्फ जल जीरा मसाला सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप
Day.
This is Republic Jack Olivall Studio. Stay tuned for all the live and breaking news updates. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar. Let's get started.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So 67%.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli resigns as the protest escalates, not just limited now to Kathmandu but several parts of Nepal. All this and much more on this edition, but up first let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Coup complete in 2 days. Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli steps down. New Prime Minister likely to be announced soon. Protesters set fire to Prime Minister Oli's house amid calls for resignation. First visuals of Nepalese Prime Minister KP Oli surfaces. Oli seen flying off in a chopper. Nepalese army issues a statement, seeks a solution via political dialogue. Protesters chased and thrashed ministers in Nepal. Ministers take shelter in army barracks. Protesters burned down Parliament, House of President, Prime Minister and ministers. Nepal in complete chaos. Gun-wielding rioters enter Parliament premises. Complete chaos and riots unfold in Kathmandu. Well, in fact, starting with the latest, as the wife of former Prime Minister Jalanath Khanal has been set on fire alive by the youth. In the last few hours, the developments that have taken place so far, at least 2 people have died in today's unrest after 19 were essentially killed on Monday. The target essentially being KP Sharma Oli's entire cabinet. Wife of a former Prime Minister has now been set ablaze by the protesters who have run amok. In fact, it turns out that the protest, which essentially began as over the social media ban, has now only been escalating. In fact, this entire ban has already been reversed by the government, but it seems that isn't it. Now, the protesters are essentially demanding the resignation of the Prime Minister, which has happened a while back. The Prime Minister has tendered his resignation. This has been accepted by the President. There's complete chaos on the ground because what we do not know so far as to who exactly will take over. Will it be the mayor of Kathmandu who has put out multiple statements? In fact, the mayor of Kathmandu was the one who was backing these protests that were taking place in Kathmandu. The same very person who had met the US ambassador just about a couple of months ago. On your screens right now, a rerun of what we had essentially witnessed in the other parts of Indian subcontinent, that is in Bangladesh. A same thing happening now in Nepal. Within 36 hours, there has been a complete regime change. Who essentially takes over? This at a time when, remember, KP Sharma Oli was running a coalition government in Nepal. Let me just stay with these latest visuals now coming in and a quick recap of what we know so far. On your screens right now, these are latest images coming in from Kathmandu, where the wife of former Prime Minister has been set ablaze by the protesters. Now, this comes just a while after KP Sharma Oli resigned in response to what is now being seen as a spiraling anti-government protest across the country. And he has essentially said that he has done so to pave way for a constitutional solution to the crisis. The army has essentially responded right now, saying that a solution can only come in from political dialogue. More breaking news now coming in right now. In fact, on your screens, these are latest images. This is the former Prime Minister who has been attacked a short while back once again, along with the KP Sharma Oli's cabinet ministers who have been tracked down, thrashed in public. Now you have former Prime Minister Teuba, who's also been attacked by the mob there. Now, with regards to who exactly is organizing these protests that are now taking place, because it is no longer about the social media ban that was brought in by the KP Sharma Oli government, which was again reversed. It turns out that these protesters on the street are essentially now saying that this is it is time that this government goes, because they believe that this government was riddled with corruption. In fact, now you have armed policemen who have been brought on the streets. Army has essentially been given control of certain parts of Kathmandu. In fact, a short while back, there were reports coming in of armed police firing tear gas in an attempt to push back the protesters, as they are essentially growing in numbers. In fact, others coming in also. A short while back, there is also reports coming in that Minister of Water Supply Pradeep Yadav has also resigned in protest to the government's heavy-handed crackdown that we had essentially seen. There's more coming in right now. Very similar images, if you remember what we had witnessed just about a few months ago when Sheikh Hasina had to flee from Dhaka. A similar style now, a similar playbook now being witnessed in Kathmandu, where KP Sharma Oli has been forced to resign. No reports really coming in right now whether at all he is still in Kathmandu or he has moved out. In fact, there is only images that you see. We're going to try and play out those images of the chopper that was being taken by KP Sharma Oli. That was the only image. Ambassador Veera Sikri is joining us on this broadcast. Ambassador Sikri, uncanny resemblance to what we had witnessed in Bangladesh. Ambassador Sikri, do you believe that it is the same playbook, same Bangladesh playbook now unfolding in Nepal?
You're absolutely right. It does look remarkably similar to what was unfolding in Bangladesh. Till yesterday, I thought that, yes, there is the Gen Z Nepal, and they will follow more the Sri Lanka model where, they did oppose the government in power, but then they followed the constitutional process to the very end, and then they've had elections and got a new government. Now, but today it is very clear that there is complete chaos, and it is much more the Bangladesh playbook being fully demonstrated in Kathmandu, because the Gen Z Nepal, which actually had planned the demonstration for yesterday, and then Prime Minister Oli had banned all those social media apps in order to